Alright. Hello, buddies. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you have to be watching. And of course, Siri Bot, thank you for everything that you do. I know my follower count says 69, funny number, but we were at 71 at one point, so hopefully I didn't do anything to offend anybody, but this is the follower voted game. Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition. I played this once like 5 years ago, and I remember pretty much nothing. Nothing specific anyway. So let's begin. Let us begin. Driving this narrator crazy. It's pretty much the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Woo, 427.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And
Dang,
although
no days off.
others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley
I don't even
was
remember how
happy.
many endings there are. Is it like 10 or 12 at least?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly
Oh,
wrong.
we can move now.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I hate Mondays. See, I've not played this in a long time. I think one of the endings is like you just stay in here. Maybe. But all I know how to do is push buttons at a computer, right? Hey, hello, Shreejeev. Hope you're doing good. Oh, why's my chat box so low? Hope you're doing good. Oh, I see why. We're not doing too bad. This is a game that was voted for by the followers over on Discord. And I have not played this in like 5 years, and I don't remember really anything. Huh. I thought the guy would have started complaining by now that I didn't leave the office. Might be like a different run, maybe? Hey, Private Tony. Okay, I'm here, but if I go quiet then the boss is micromanaging me, man, like I said, man, don't get in trouble. Not on my account. It ain't worth it. But yeah, I have not played this in
All of his
5
co-workers
years.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so I think the first time you pretty much need to actually listen to the guy. And after that you can start messing around. You are a nice number in this company, huh? We're employee number 427.
When Stanley came to a set of two open
Here,
doors,
desk.
he entered the door on his
I'm a
left.
desk, I'm a cog in the machine. I think it's right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I did not.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I'll go back. Fine, I won't go back. Jeez. Try to correct my decisions here. Nice language.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all,
Cold
just to spend a
drinks.
few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here,
That almost looks like
drinking it
those are
all in.
Prime bottles. Looks like Aquafina and Prime.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
What does
A
that
room
say?
so utterly captivating that even though
I
all
can't tell you
your
what that says.
co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
I'm
Really
actually looking
worth
at
it.
papers. Thank you very much. 5th annual subcommittee meeting of
At this point, Stanley's obsession with
Internal
this room
Revenue
bordered on
Analysis for the
creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
for
It's
committees.
possible
I'm trying to
that this
read
is why
something, narrator.
everyone left.
Internal Revenue Analysis for committees of the Royal Revenue Dis,
Stanley sat around
Discussions
waiting for
Club.
more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Oh my god, fine. Freaking controlling.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first
I love this
open door
game.
on his left to get back to business.
Get this way.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section,
Oh.
walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Did I though? Did I? I mean, this is a shiny button. Okay, I guess we're not gonna do what he says the first time. I tried, okay? I tried going backwards. He didn't go for it.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
This is pretty much the equivalent of when you're running like a D&D campaign or something, and you want your players to do the things that you
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
spent so long trying to set up, and they're just like, I'm going to go the other way.
No, not the right.
Bro is trolling
Why
me.
would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Dude's
Now,
trolling me
let's
so
see.
hard.
We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay,
This
yes.
is what being a
I've
dungeon
got it
master
now.
is
This
like.
story is absolutely, definitely this way.
I've experienced that myself. That's why you gotta be good at improvising. Oh. Huh. Who's employee fired? That's not me. Can we find us?
No.
427?
This isn't right at all.
Or
You're
down
not
there.
supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about,
Ruined.
rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off
Can I
track,
jump?
Okay, from the top.
I guess I can't jump. Squid Game numbers. You're right. So that's a lot more Squid Game participants than I remember there being. Did they only have like 100? I really thought there was. Oh, we may have to go out first?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
No,
meeting room.
okay.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I could have swore there's an ending where you just stay in the office and then he gets mad. I remember there being one where you can go through a window and escape. I just don't remember which window. Number 1, Dad. I can't read what that says. Feels like we're just taking like one big footstep at a time, almost like a side shift.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, no, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Well, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you
No.
move the story somewhere, or...
How would I be able to do
Hold
that,
on.
buddy?
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
I don't know.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Okay. Story. Where are you, story? Inner guilt. Everyone knows what you did. They're just holding back to let you torture yourself. That's a power move, I guess. How about you just don't do anything guilty, and then that's not going
I'll
to be a
say it.
problem.
This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Wait, I was exploring. Rude.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided
What's
to
that
go
one
to
say?
the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I like work. I just hate my boss. I think that mug just says mile. Or it probably says smile. Just probably can't see the S. Oh, now there's no doors at all. Is this a trap?
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Surname access. What a great surname to have.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
Are you sure this time, buddy?
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
It's like he's a dungeon master for the very first time. This must be under renovation, right?
Now this... Well, I'll be
Ooh, a
honest, I
pallet
don't
jack.
recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
We won!
Congratulations! I know you put in a
Yay.
lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good
We did it.
job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Rude.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to
I'm gonna take
restart.
the pallet jack. The pallet jack is my friend. Huh. I wonder where I should go.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Now I don't wanna. I'm gonna see something quick. No. Oh. I don't wanna. It's like I don't want to look things up. Because then I could spoil something else. Since memory fails me. We'll follow the line. We'll be a good Stanley.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what?
Ooh,
I think what we
marks.
need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
This does not make anyone feel comfortable. Coffee night. So loud. Please stop. Please turn it off. It's blowing my eardrum out. What? 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 Okay. That's a little bit of a little glitch.
Wait, cut the music.
Oh,
Go
thank God.
back
My
and
ear
look at
hurts.
that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Yes, that is a fern. Yes. Okay. I will remember none of it.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh, look.
Oh,
We're back
no,
here.
no, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And
Ah,
after we
get trolled.
trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
He's just had enough. Usually you say something by now, buddy. I feel like I'm so sure that you can go out one of these windows and escape.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Whatever you say, boss. You can go on it.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or
Sure.
monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
He sounds so discouraged. This game must have been so fun to write and make and record.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere.
Guess we're
Which
walking
means
in
that
circles.
somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds
Okay, I'm
with that
done. I was starting to
counter-inverted
get
reverse
loopy.
door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
The confusion ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well,
The
what if I don't
narrator
want to
is gone
forget?
after a long time. Stanley
My
dies.
mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Who's
I
playing the
won't
game? Is it the
do it.
narrator or is it me?
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite
Sure,
sure if we're
technically.
in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Ah, God, that hurt. Okay. So does this imply there's a higher power than the narrator? I'm scared. I don't wanna. I'm done playing this game. I just want to go back to punching buttons on my keyboard.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Awaiting input. Okay. Wait, can I input? Oh, look at me. I'm pushing buttons. I think I broke it.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let's see. Meeting room. Floor 4XX group. Cabal planning. Weekly targets again. Marketing Mondays. Termination Tuesdays. Yeah. Office efficiency. Legal with the line. IT department. We're broke Wednesday. Financial panic meeting. Boss inspection. Mergers, ideas, and development. Pranking floor 5 meeting. Office party. Do not alter without consulting the whiteboard manager. R.I.P. Franz? No, rip. Targets. Push for funding for R plus D of new coffee machine. What was that? Standardized graphs, 40 something wide. Not cost efficient. Get Chris out of the broom closet, ongoing. Synchronize papers. Hire someone to synchronize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergy guy. Who moved my desk? Please reap the targets on the topic of blank. Or blur. The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. I don't think that's how that works. Complete today's unfinished agenda items. Right next day's agenda. Reflect. I'm surprised the option for crying isn't there. Is this what working at an office is like? By quarterly post review. We need less reviews. 402 and 405 want to get rid of the deaf sport portion in the primary review schedule. But I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers, more water cooler heaters. Torts need to be more hip to appear to teenage demographic. Five teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Big net, some sort of child trip. What the fuck? There might be a problem here. There was something in the ideas bin. No more bins, trash cans. Renaming of the idea bin. I can't tell what that third one is. What do people want? Things. Violet James, you were fired. What do you write? Happy feelings. Yeah, people want happy feelings. And they fired him for that? Money. More money. Things. But with money to buy more things? Graphs about things and money. We have our new product. Stock market is somewhere here. What is hot? And lots of profit. On the boss appreciation minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things love most about your boss. Oh god. No. If you ever find yourself in conflict with another diligent employee, you're the kind of person that, remember that it takes two people to start a fight, and right now you're both of them. I feel like this place would give me a headache to work out. To-do board, synergize, core value, expenditures, shift global market parity, monetize free to play. Let's burn this place to the ground. A broom closet. Oh, I can go in.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet.
Wait, wasn't there someone named Chris that was stuck here?
So he turned around and got back on track.
Guess he's gone now. Good for him.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I want the broom. Give me the broom.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything.
I'm
At
trying
least
to
if there
get
was something to
broom.
interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Well, give me something to interact with then. I'm trying to remember. I thought you could.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Mm-hmm.
Standing around doing nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because
Please
I
offer
want
me
something.
some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I want the broom. I want something to interact with. I thought there was like an item that you could actually
You
have.
realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
Well, what if I
never would
wanted to
have
be
thought to
significant?
mention it.
Come on, DM, humor me. Just let me
Maybe
take the
to
broom.
you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends
Yay.
find this concerning.
Broom closet ending. Come on. Come on.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really
What
stupid.
the fuck?
He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug
What
money.
the...
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
What? That's not true. I may be fat and ugly, but I'm not addicted to drugs and hookers. Thank you very
Well, I've
much.
come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to
No.
this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave
I
because
just want a
there's nothing
broom,
here
bro.
when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen.
I just want the
Well, in
broom.
a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
Help me, broom.
Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby?
Why is he so mean all of a sudden?
This computer is
It's
dead.
because I'm not following his
Therefore, we
path.
pray to any number of your countless human
This is how I think a lot of
vulnerabilities.
DMs like want to
It's
react
indicative
when
of the
their players
long-term
just don't go
sustainability
their
of your
way.
species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic
Yeah.
first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in
I
video
just
gaming,
want the
so
broom.
that the
Give me
irony
the broom,
and
we can
insightful
continue.
commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
I want the broom. Give me. Give me. Can I take anything? I thought there was something that you could have and carry around. I just don't remember what. Or if it was even in here. Is that it? Or is he done entertaining me? Fine.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board.
Yep, that's me,
I
player 2.
guarantee
Completely new.
upon coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
Went too
to his
quick.
boss's office.
What? You said downstairs? You said downstairs, right? I can't read what that says, but it looks like there's a humanoid owl on a little motorcycle from like World War One or two, riding through a desert. That's what my eyes saw.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He
Need to give
considered
me
the
my broom.
possibility of
I
facing
don't
his
care anymore.
boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken
I mean,
that
honestly, that's
risk?
fair.
All because he
Tough
believed
economy.
everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
I don't have
Why did
feet.
doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Nah.
And for that matter, these
Nah.
rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
No.
Were they simply repeating? No,
We're
Stanley
going
said to himself,
crazy.
this is all too strange. This can't be real. and at last he came
So what
to the
happens when you're in an office
conclusion
for too
that had
long?
been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
What do they
"I'm
call it? Cabin fever?
dreaming!" he yelled.
I'm
"This is all a
dreaming! This is
dream!"
all a dream!
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back
Oh,
to
we
my
are back
boring
here.
real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined
What
himself
if I'm just running
fine
around like the
and began
office,
to
just like
gently
completely
float above
naked
the
and
ground.
just
Then
going
he
around
imagined himself
going,
soaring through space on a
yeah.
magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had
Oh
still
boy.
not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself
Let me
sooner.
out. Let me
Why
out.
is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Maybe I am on drugs.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by
1,
Stanley,
2,
who
B,
found it
4.
particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts,
Bro,
he
there's no way
thought.
this guy's
And
not
while
on
he thought
drugs.
it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely,
No.
if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this
This is
was a
such peak
dream.
gameplay.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons.
You
Please,
just want to push
it's all I
buttons,
want.
man.
I want my apartment and my wife
Oh, we have
and
an
my job.
apartment and we're married.
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Well, fuck me, that didn't work.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
The narrator does such a good job narrating this.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Huh?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got
I don't remember
dressed,
this part.
gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this
Okay.
particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
That's just sad.
Though she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows
Well,
what
rest in
crazy
peace.
people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career.
This isn't
And
this
by
her
extension,
story. This is
the
my.
rest of
Oh,
her
I
life.
put my mic.
She
This
had
is
no
my story,
time
damn
for
it.
this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body.
Oh my goodness.
And then she turned and ran.
My story. Not hers. Well, alrighty then.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Who farted? Oh, man, that is an issue you would have being in an office, huh? New content, you say?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new
Can you
content?
tell me you're the one that wrote the story? We're going. Jeez, how big is this office building?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable
Hello?
Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for
Also, it's been
consoles
4 years,
and
not
home
5, since I
computers.
last played. Because I played this when that came out.
The
Because I'm playing
Stanley
on the
Parable
Switch too.
Ultra Deluxe
Well,
features
I bought it on the
exciting new
Switch.
content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing
Elevator has
adventure.
no buttons.
Is it broken? What's
There's
going
no
on here?
buttons.
Should we be moving somewhere? Or, oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
Okay, well,
All right.
jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
We can jump now. Yay, we can jump. Let's pretend I'm playing jump rope. Or what's the other one? Hopscotch? I can only jump in the circle? If there were jumps remaining? Taken away from me.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Well, thank you for not counting to 30 trillion. Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for
Yeah,
their
this is
fan
true.
base
This is a
rush
true
a cheap
message.
expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
I don't even know what to say.
No frills.
What is it
No
about?
gimmicks. Just you and me having
We're
a
just an
great time
office worker
together
that
like
lost our mind,
always.
I guess.
What do you say, friend?
That's different. This doesn't look like the office. Look, there's a picture of the office. This ain't it.
Psst. Stanley!
That actually
Come
spooked me.
over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Sunset. Oh, I'm too curious about the vent. Whee!
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our
Hello.
little secret. Take a look.
Bro, am I about to play like a freaking fantasy game right now?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been
I like
storing all
very
my
vaguely remember
favorite
this.
memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Alright, let's go to the memory zone. Ooh, basket.
You see, Stanley,
Don't
doesn't the
forget.
Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap Nintendo Switch port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Oh, back in my day. Huh, good times. The British Academy of Film and Television Arts awarded to the Stanley Parable. This wasn't The Last of Us, no. 2014 Independent Games Festival Audience Award, The Stanley Parable. Stanley Parable Collector Edition Galactic Cafe. World Class Award. Uh-huh. Indoors Monthly. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. That's right, that is an achievement. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. British Academy of Film and Television Arts Development Team nominee. British Academy Award, the Stanley Parable. Game nomination. No, Game Innovate. The other word's kind of blurry for me. Hello.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph
Don't
of
read any
games
reviews except
journalism,
this one.
James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
We're new content. Oh, look, I think that's us. I think it's me. That's the lady that found me. Found me dead. Looks down the stairs. Memory zone maintenance. Oh.
Here's another moving passage. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the Nintendo Switch. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Okay, I get it. You're not happy with the game.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But
Oh
I
no, we can
wouldn't
get
give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
pressurized gas.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games.
That was like
I
literally
haven't looked at these in
pressurized gas.
years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Probably not.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not
Oh
trying
no.
to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room
Profound
to stick them.
philosophical insights like call me fat and ugly and addicted to drugs and hookers. Uh-huh. a forklift. Let me. I'm forklift certified in real life. Let me. And no fun.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
You can't read the positive one, just
While
on the
the idea
negative.
for the game is good,
No focus on the negative,
for
focus on
someone
the
who
positive.
prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let
No.
these people down. Perhaps the
Don't
Stanley
focus on
parable
the negative.
isn't quite as sterling as I always
So those forks need to
remembered.
be down. It's a tripping hazard.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay, if that's what you want.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination
I hate to
and
do it, but
more
I
of
think
a
we're supposed to hit
treatise.
this again.
Or... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place.
Boop.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45
30 to
minutes?
45 minutes. Good.
It's not
Goodness gracious.
unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort or a... Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit
You
here. And
don't.
more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why
Yep.
would you? Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing.
Well, not
Would you
nothing.
think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which
I
my
mean, we all like
words
to
were
be heard.
moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These
Mm-hmm.
words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe,
Mm-hmm.
Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps. Yes. Perhaps I've been
I don't know
scared
how
this
long
whole
he'll
time.
go on
And if I
for.
stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the
Oh,
two of us. And I am suspended in its unyielding
like I said, I think I
quietness.
have to do it.
I can feel the
I don't
edges
think
of
we'll
my
ever stop
reality
talking otherwise.
curdling inward and decaying.
Oop.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me
No, I
describe it
think I
for
would
you. To
die.
begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to
Mm-hmm.
undo the past.
He's gone. And I'm still trapped. I don't like that beeping. What's that beeping?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It
Oh,
was
he's
meant to
back.
have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the...
I'm gonna be trapped here forever. I don't know how many years it's been.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the
Classic.
end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the
The end
end,
is
is never
never
the
the end,
end, is never
indeed.
the end, is never the end.
Am I really just trapped here? Well, maybe the roof will collapse, and then I can escape. Oh. Well, the roof collapsed, but I can't jump. sunlight. It's been forever since we've seen that. Can I has the ladder? No. Aw. No, where'd all my plants go? It was so pretty for like a moment. No, it's not ominous at all. Goodbye, plants. Unfortunately. Oh. We're finally free. Oh boy, I wonder how much time it has been. Maybe it's been like a 5,000 years. Alright, time to go live in the desert. But we're free. Woo. This present area doesn't just restart. Oh. But I was gonna live in the desert. Aww. Eternally trapped forever. It's like
All of his
the
co-workers
Groundhog's
were
Day
gone.
movie.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Well, we haven't gone to the boss's office yet, so... Oh. New content. new content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Does he remember the whole skip button thing? I don't know. I do not know.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever
What is it?
the Stanley Parable 2.
2.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a
The
fully
end is never
fledged
the
sequel.
end.
An
Again.
entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Testing 2 printers at the same time.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable
Taste the
2,
sequel.
now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
No, because we're playing a sequel. I cannot tell what that says. Old and busted. New hotness.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts,
Who took the red marker?
that surely the
Me.
game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Crab, the ultimate sequel. That is. Sorry, I got distracted by whatever that sound was. Time for Crab. The sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum City 2, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, Dark Souls 2. Buddies, they have Dark Souls in this game. Nice. Oh.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
The reassurance bucket. That's what the item was I was thinking of. Exclusive. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Hear your name in the game. Gee, don't mind if I do. What's that say? No jumps remaining. Player tiers. There's no jumps.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer
Road to the
is that they
perfect
want to
button.
be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Nice museum. It is. Okay. Say my name.
Jim. Sorry, I
Jam.
should have clarified. Right now,
My
the
name
button
isn't
only
Jam.
says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you
Jim.
roleplay as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I
Okay.
want you to imagine yourself
We
living
are
as
Jim now.
sleeping and waking as Jim,
Here.
falling in love and
Jim
being
would wear it backwards,
heartbroken
hat.
as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please
Yeah, I'm Jim
step
Hopper.
forward and press the button. Jim. Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Okay. Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the gym button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
Too much Jim?
I'm putting
Is
the
there
gym
such
button away.
thing?
Otherwise,
No.
soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
I'm addicted to the button. Taking away my personal joy. Can I push these buttons? No. Also, I just missed entirely.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Infinite hole. Settings, world champion, infinite hole, free achievement. Free new easy achievement. It just works. I can't believe it's that simple. Get yours right now. Pull the lever. Receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you.
Why do I
It's
feel
as
like
simple
it's
as
not going
that.
to work?
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
At least this museum was free.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Infinite hole. Her epilogue. Wait, the jump circle! The jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well.
Give me jumps.
Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the
Give me
jump
jumps.
circle.
Hey, Hollow Dallas, thank you for the follow,
I
man.
suppose it can just be
I
a
appreciate
nice
it.
decorative piece.
Hope your
then.
Elden Ring run went well. You're not gonna give me jumps? I want to jump. This looks like a fun game. It is. It's just one of those where there's just a lot of different options and endings, and the narrator is pretty funny. I haven't played it in like 4 years, so I remember pretty much none of it. No screenshots. Have a live stream.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Well, happy 12th birthday, obviously. Get well someday just sounds almost too cynical.
You know,
Oh, that's a
sometimes when you
step.
solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, 12-year-old step niece. No happy birthday for you. Merge.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
This t-shirt is the best new feature. I would totally buy that red shirt. The end is never the end. Okay, so we probably just did a full loop there. Let's get the bucket. I need my
A
reassurance
common
bucket.
complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense
Where's
of
the bucket?
reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the
Bucket.
Stanley Parable Reassurance
I need
Bucket.
it. I need it in my
You
life.
see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and
Give
perhaps
me the
even
bucket.
comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually
That's behind glass.
redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable.
Big
Can
bucket
you imagine
loot,
what a pain in
hopefully.
the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket
I guess
is
or we
the
could have
perfect solution.
like
Come
actually
on,
take the bucket.
give it a try.
Yes. Yay, we have the bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of
Bucket's my best
crushing
friend now.
despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Heck yeah,
I think
gives
that
me
just
charisma
holding
points.
it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits
That's
of the
a
bucket seem to
big
go on and
leap from
on,
calling me
don't they?
fat, ugly,
All
addicted
this
to
and
drugs and
more
hookers there,
awaits
narrator.
you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay, I'm taking this with me. This is mine now.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
I'll give you that.
That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Okay. Uh, let's go check out collectibles. Maybe we put the collectibles in the bucket. Can you find the collectibles? Collect them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run
I don't want
around
to walk
gathering
any
up these
further.
miniature
Don't want
Stanley
to fall,
figurines.
maybe.
And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
I think we have to. Getting there. Almost there. Yay. Look, it's us. Tis me, Stanley. Okay, well, I assume that
God, it
that's in my
really is
bucket.
the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Oh yeah, tragic, yes. Why give validation to something that someone spent so much time doing?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you
Infinite
like. A
falling.
stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay, bye. Whee! It's okay, I have my
You see,
bucket. That's
isn't it
fine.
wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, Since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up
What
to the top,
teleport
and
button?
we can continue
Oh.
onward.
But what if I don't wanna?
Now, I don't mean to be a
What if I
bummer,
just wanna,
but I
like,
do recommend
kick
you
back in
use
my
the
bucket and
teleport
just
button to go back to the top.
fall
We
down?
do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
It's not like there's a bottom, right? I can be in here as long as I want. It's infinite,
Okay,
right?
Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
What?
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well,
So
good
I
for
just...
you. You found the bottom of the hole.
When I just
You
die?
found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look,
Meeting
I
at
think
2
the issue
p.m.
here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall
New mug.
infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Look, you get a lot of
things got a
adrenaline from
little
falling,
heated
okay?
there. I think we both
Who
saw
wouldn't
some things we
want to
didn't
just
mean.
fall down an
Why
infinite hole?
don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
So now all that's left should be the epilogue. Oh wait, settings world champion. I can't even go in there. Where's the epilogue? Or is that, is this just, is this the only thing that's epilogue? Huh, they actually changed it to mostly infinite hole. Oh, exit. Okay. Come on, bucket, let's go.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now? So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how
Book is my
exactly these
favorite.
features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good
Let
about
him cook.
this. Here we go.
Let the man cook.
Version 2.
A little noise kills
Who am
me.
I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original
Where's
game.
the skip button?
Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really,
Really
really
does talk like a
tremendous title
lot.
screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect.
Man with a bucket is a real dream.
Take a look.
Really is. All you need is a bucket. Oh. Okay. Best bonk stick, a bucket. It's also the best helmet.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
I mean, think about the Pumpkinhead enemies.
Job was simple.
They just wear a bucket on their head, and then they just headbutt their enemies to death.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every
Where's
year.
my bucket?
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every
I like how I'm just using like
moment of the
one
order
finger
sequence,
typing.
as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Favorite ending so far?
Was happy.
Honestly, the skip button one.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would
It's because
never
like for
quite
a
forget.
sliver of a second, I
He
had
had been
hoped
at
that I
his
could just
desk
run
for
off
nearly
into
an
the
hour
desert and
when he realized that not one
exist.
single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete
Have I found
isolation.
your favorite ending so
Something
far,
was
Private
very
Tony?
clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and
You creep
regained
to your
his
YouTube. How do you like
senses, he
Elden
got
Ring
up
and Old
from
School
his
RuneScape?
desk and
Oh, I
stepped
enjoy
out of
both
his
of them.
office.
The Elden Ring playthrough that I'm doing is my 6th playthrough. You have one? Don't want to spoil? Ah, no worries. And Old School RuneScape, I've played that on and off since like 2010, so I do enjoy it.
All of his
Okay, they have the
co-workers
balloons.
were gone.
I don't have my bucket.
What could it mean?
Where's my
Stanley
bucket?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe the bucket's in the broom closet? Get well someday.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I don't care about my coworkers, I just care about the bucket! Bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
You could say that with a little more enthusiasm there, narrator. It's the bucket. The bucket is love. The bucket is life. It's my emotional support bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly
Best friend
to his
bucket's
chest
back, yes.
and entered the door on his left. Still no one was
Tits
here.
for not getting fired. Talk
Stanley
less.
needed
Do
the
unbelievably
bucket's
amazing
warmth
work all
and
the time.
comfort
Every day with
now
no
more than
expectation
ever.
for promotion or recognition.
Perhaps his boss's
Don't get
office
fired.
was where he'd find answers.
Ugh. Come on, bucket. Let me show you the broom closet.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
No.
You can feel that, can't you? The aura
No.
of jealousy is as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
No.
I can really feel it now.
No.
It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom
No.
closet. That's what the
It's
broom closet is
mine.
trying to say here.
It's
It's
mine.
supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
No.
Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Just like start
I know
hissing it.
how hard it must be, given the
No.
pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend.
It's mine.
You can't hand
It's
it
my
over.
precious.
Oh no. We're getting into name call. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Executive bathroom. Oh, I can actually go in here. It's a plot device. Collectible. Gimme.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well
I mean,
done.
that's all the
You
reward I
can't
need,
buy
buddy.
that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Really expected the rest of that to rhyme, but okay. Well, I don't care if the bucket's a plot device or not. It's mine. It is my emotional support bucket. It's my best friend. Hello, boss.
Stepping
Ooh,
into his
piano.
manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Yeah, see, I need the bucket.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At
I think
this
he
point,
pronounces
Stanley was
Shantae.
so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the
Probably like a
keypad
really
behind
fancy
the
champagne
boss's
or something.
desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Yeah,
Was it that the
look.
bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
See the bucket? The bucket guides me. Gimme.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. You know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Oh, goodness.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him,
Thank you, bucket.
reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Yes, the bucket is here for me. Yes.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind
Why
Control
would I want to go in
Facility.
there? That doesn't sound like a fun place to go. Escape. Oh, but I'm sure that's just an ending. I have to go and check it out. Bucket, if things get hairy, save me. What's it say? Just ones and zeros and just a bunch of numbers. Okay.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
This place must absolutely wreck for the electric bill.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears
No, it's
as
okay,
Stanley
bucket. It's
cradled
okay.
it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Don't cry. Yeah, don't cry. It's okay.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want
The
to do
bucket
in the first place?
has killed tens of thousands of
These
people,
questions raised
but it didn't want to.
furiously in Stanley's
It was
feeble
mind
mind.
controlled.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the
Yep,
bucket.
only trust the bucket.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began
Right,
to
just
sink
like in a
in,
brain or something.
Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Amazing. I don't know. I don't remember how to dismantle it.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Say no more.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every
Woo, we're
country on
free.
Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a
That'd be an
simpler
interesting way
life
to watch
they
a movie.
envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another
Yay.
to lean on, to trust, to support, and to...
No, no, keep going down.
What? Wait.
Keep going
What was
down.
happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in
It's okay, bucket.
uncertainty.
If I could, I
Until
would just throw
finally
you
the truth
across.
hit Stanley square in the face.
Cinderella
This
in reverse
building
is
did
somewhat
not
upsetting.
want
Oh
the
god,
bucket
it
to
would be,
leave.
wouldn't it?
Even the
No.
facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the
No.
bucket, needed the
No.
soothing warmth of the bucket,
No.
would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so
At least
bad,
I have the
Stanley
bucket.
thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, He was about to find out.
Well, that happened.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
The bucket's
Stanley
gone.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Figure findings committee meeting today in the meeting room. No, never mind. The bucket's here. Yay. Come here.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Guess I have to keep my eye out for the other 3, whatever the figurines are called.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the
I do
door
need to
on
see
his
what
left.
happens if you hit the on button for the mind control. In the name of science. And also the point of this game is trying to get all the endings. How can we find them? Maybe we are the collectibles. Shut the frick up. To whom it may concern, I managed to pick up sounds unnatural to our regular office or local audio sources using an array of microphones. Analysis of the recordings allowed me to triangulate the source of the source of the strange noise. Data shows no likelihood it's coming from a dark area behind a very warm place. I also picked up what looks like to be a reverted something off a porcelain surface. Source of levitation. True, I don't know why it's levitating. Trust the completionist instinct. There will be a reward for finding them all. Lies. Stop kidding yourselves. Oh. It's actually... Does this tell you? A large room, lots of boxes, stairs, something to do with stairs, somewhere both red and blue. Okay. I think those are actual real places. Fuck you, broom closet. You can have my bucket.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for this. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Looks like we can go back up if we want. Oh,
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go
I
back
was gonna
up?
send it up
When I was pressing those
and
keypad
just let it go
buttons,
up.
there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again.
Number 3.
The bucket said nothing.
Okay, we'll go back and press the number 3.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. "Wow," he said, "the number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life." Stanley looked
Woo.
expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
That was so exhilarating. I don't have words to describe it.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly. A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate? Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, "Mind Control Facility." The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the
just
bucket
wanna hit
both
the-
wondered to themselves.
I want to hit the evil button. I need to hit the evil button just once.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. "No!" he screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this
I
machinery
need D for
would...
science.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in
The
horror.
bucket.
Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
Silly.
Silly. Silly birds.
See, the bucket knew what he was
The control
what it was
buttons
doing.
became active again.
Now we have silly birds.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly
Bro, it's
birds
just
after
TikTok.
another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley
The bucket
marveled
did.
at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
Although this is technically
And
my
Stanley
control.
was happy.
Oh, that's our life now. Just scrolling through TikTok, just watching birds. Didn't take the bucket for an, God, I'm gonna butcher this word. Ornithologist? Well, I mean, you just never
Even
know.
now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer,
Bird
perhaps,
watcher,
and a
fancy word.
painting. Was it a painting or
Everyone's
a
got to
photo?
have a
He could
hobby.
no longer recall. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Oh, okay, let's go back through a third time, but we'll go
Stanley
to
clutched the
this
bucket tightly to his
escape
chest and entered
path.
the door on his left.
Somewhere above red and blue, stairs, something to do with stairs, a large room, lots of boxes. I think I actually remember the stairs one. I want to say it's
Coming
actually
to a
down here.
staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to
I'm
the
glad
boss's office.
I'm glad you've chosen this. I knew you'd have a laugh. I didn't choose it. I mean, I put it in the list of things to vote for, but y'all voted for it. Here we go.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these
Yeah,
little Stanley figurines.
I'm glad I
And now I'm
hadn't
torn
played this
between
since the
Stanlerines
Ultra
and
Deluxe came out
Figlies.
4
What do
years
you think,
ago.
Stanley? What name better encapsulates the
Because I really don't
intrinsic
remember much of
sense
anything,
of
it's just
happiness
so funny.
that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come
Like,
to
I'm
me.
pretty sure, like, when this came out, I bought it for the Switch, and then I binged it for like 3 or 4 hours, and then I never touched it again. And now we're here, like 4+ years later.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew
Bucket
all
Timeline
along?
wasn't there when
Was
you
the
played it.
bucket guiding him?
Did you play the Ultra Deluxe
Yes,
one?
this is certainly the most logical
Or did you play the,
explanation.
I guess the PC one? Or the old one? Not just the base one years ago on PC? I gotcha. Yeah, I've never even played the base one. Like, I'd
Stanley
always
and the
wanted to
bucket
play
walked
this
straight
game, but
ahead through the large door that read
when I was like, yeah,
Mind
I should get it.
Control Facility.
And it's like, oh, they're releasing this on the
Although this
Switch. I'm like, okay,
passageway had the word
I'll
escape
get on the
written
Switch.
on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet
What?
a violent death.
Not the bucket. You can kill me, but not the bucket. I can't even drop the bucket. It's okay, we'll be fine.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Bucket would take a bullet for you. You'd still die, but it would take it.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly
It's
walking
okay,
forward
I'll take the
into
bullet
a
for the
very
bucket.
painful death for each of them.
Whee! We already found out we don't take fall damage, so that's not going to be the violent death. We're fine. We shouldn't be fine, but we're fine.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked
It's
himself
not
for
going
wasting
to kill
so
me.
much time carrying a bucket everywhere.
It's not
Farewell,
going to kill me.
Stanley.
Ain't gonna do it.
Farewell,
Called it.
Stanley, cried the narrator,
Huh?
as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous
Who are
metal
you?
jaws. In a single visceral instant, the
Hello?
bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Called your bluff.
was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Where's my bucket? I just had my bucket. It was not. It was fine. What? 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 We're about to get like a whole memorial museum for the bucket. No. The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like the bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and rich and sustained. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness? Grand exhibit. The bucket was fine, it was in my arms. And they took it away from me.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own?
But
Can
we're
you see the
best
hubris
friends.
that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is
Come
far
back.
more noble than
Come
Stanley
back.
will ever be in his short life?
No, gimme. Taking my best friend away. It's so rude. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. That's way more than 25 buckets. The pee and boo bucket of a prison cell, avant-garde. My bucket is so much more than that. A bucket with two handles. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Let's do it. Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet, in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. Wasn't it like like I think during around like the medieval-ish times, there was two nations and or like two what do you call them? City states maybe in Italy, and like one got mad at the other. Like they were fighting there's like two nations. They were fighting each other because it was like who's better, the Pope or the King, kind of deal. And then like one of them, like one of the villages or whatever, one of the places. I just don't remember what they called it specifically. They had this bucket and they loved it, and then the other place they were at war with like took the bucket, and they're like still keeping it displayed in their own museum, and they won't give it back. Something like that. See, people have loved buckets since the dawn of man. Cave drawing. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket has already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Looks a picture like T-Rexes with their tiny little arms just carrying around buckets.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
I didn't own my bucket. We were just best friends. The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between Bucket and humanity. However clear or aggressive the Bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, is for our own good. But Bucket... Bucket! Oh, I really expected me to fall. But okay, I'm just gonna take my bucket back.
But there is something we can do.
Can't keep me from
Something
my
we can
best
do
friend.
together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let
Eh?
him be crushed by the machine.
No.
Don't reset the game. Don't give him another
No.
opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as
We're
leader,
gonna kill
as
the bucket.
commander of a new world, a new
Don't
vision.
kill the bucket. Oh. She wasn't bluffing that time. And she killed the bucket, which is the real true offense there. It's rude.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Be my Valentine.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and
We haven't gone
entered the door
right
on
in a
his
while.
left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Come on, Bucket, I'll show
Stanley
you
had
the
felt the
employee
bucket calling
lounge.
to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes,
You
Stanley
sit
thought to
here,
himself.
and I'll
Yes,
sit
perhaps
here, we'll
it
open the
truly
blinds.
was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. Truly, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Did I though? Are you sure? What if I go this way? Caution, do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. True.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Okay, Bucket. I'll listen to you. Warning, do not jump from this cargo lift while it's in motion will cause death. Penalty for misuse of a cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000. So, if I jump off the cargo lift, and if it's supposed to kill me, how am I going to pay $5,000? It just don't make sense. Danger event access for trained employees only. Climb at your own risk. How can you climb? You took away my jump ability. Oh. Wee. There's no way this would work. Mine.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last
Figler
one.
and Marines?
And then
What?
the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by
Hooray.
then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Well, guess I gotta go down. No fall damage.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked
Okay,
might
now we
lead
have
to
fall
the
damage.
separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Okay, so I guess you just don't go down there. That's bad. Sure, I can fall from like 20 to 50 plus times that times that height
All of
and
his
just
co-workers were
be
gone.
fine.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had... Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly
We're
to
going
his...
back there
This
and
was
taking the
not
lift.
the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had
Trying to
spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Ooh, key card. Oh, key card slot. Key card required. Danger. Danger everywhere. Yeah. That's a way to look at life.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a
What do you mean
sign
no
right there.
buckets
It
past
says,
this point?
no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here?
I've never
Unless-
been here.
What if the problem
Why are you
is that you
discriminating
actually
against the bucket?
don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding
can't even
could
drop
have
the bucket,
dire
dude.
consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Freaking sneezing.
Now then,
Ugh.
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple
Okay, we're in a
enough, right?
game show now.
This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
I'm just gonna say everything is a bucket just to see what happens.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect.
What?
It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual
a
bucket.
Frickin' bucket. My God.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yes, it is a bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Well, you can put things inside of it, so yes, it's a bucket. It's a big fancy bucket.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth.
You
I
can
thought
put
this
things
was a
in it,
gimmick.
therefore it's a
How on
bucket.
earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
I'm not wrong. That's a bucket.
Is this a bucket?
Yes. You can put things inside of it, therefore it's a bucket.
Correct.
Wow, that
This
worked.
is a bucket.
Okay. He's getting it now. He's getting it.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
That... You don't explain why it's a trick question.
Item Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Well, if there's nothing there, then I'll say no.
Yes, thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything
If you
is
can
a
put
bucket?
something into something, then it's a bucket. So no.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with.
As far as I know, you're
I'm
just a
afraid the bucket
discombobulated
is
voice,
threatening to tear our
so I can't put
relationship
something
apart. I
in,
can't have that.
in
I'm
you.
sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
Don't do that.
Okay,
Don't do
here
that.
we go.
Don't do that. No. No. Don't take my bucket. Don't take my bucket. No.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
We're all buckets.
Oh my god, I had no idea. How could... except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's
Yes, I'm not a
delightful to
bucket.
get some
I could
clarity
only
on that issue.
dream of
But
being
it doesn't
so
change the fact
grossly
that we haven't got a game.
incandescent.
So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Well,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
so now I have to go that
Stanley decided
pathway,
to go to
but
the
not
meeting
take the
room.
bucket.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So I don't have to do with that minigame. It's okay. You stay there. You be safe. Wow, no snarky comments about me not taking the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Except I didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
That's rude.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that
I had
convinced
to
that I
do
want something
something.
bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Just wanted to explore.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Collectible. Last one.
And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
Savor this moment,
Stiggly
Stanley.
Wiggly.
This is a real accomplishment.
We did it.
This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
You know what? That works for me. Okay, we'll go through the red door.
Oh, thank God
Just
you
means I have
are
to come
willing
back
to
and go
listen
to
to
the
me.
blue door
You see that
next.
I really have wanted you to be happy all this time. The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley?
Wow.
I wanted to stop.
Nothing here.
We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Wow. Void. Amazing solution.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place,
Pretty.
Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
I mean, it's pretty, I guess. How long do I have to stay here? Okay, I'm gonna go now.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Wait, what if I go back?
Right. Where were we?
Boring.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Let's see where this is going. La da 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 dum 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 dum.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
This is a bit morbid, I can't lie. I don't want to stay in a room full of pretty lights forever, okay? Sorry.
No! Oh,
Oh, I survived that one.
thank God. You lived.
That has
You
to
had me
be
worried
at
there
least
for
the
a
same
moment.
height as that one with the
Now,
forklift.
can we please get back to the other room?
I'll have to do it again, don't I? I'm walking slower.
No.
It's like I have an invisible
No,
health
no,
bar.
what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
There's more things to discover. And I don't want to be trapped. Whee!
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for my God? Is this really how much you dislike my game?
No.
That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be
I
rid
want
of
to
it?
go back so I can
You are
explore
literally
more.
willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Not at all. Whee!
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
Yeah,
I
this is a
just
bit
wanted us
morbid.
to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
We're fine. We're
It looks
fine.
like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
To the blue room.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Well, that was slightly traumatizing. But the blue room awaits. Whoa.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on
Huh?
things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
It was
Didn't it fill
cool,
you
I
to the
guess.
brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, But won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Okay, just don't make me go through that whole skip button sequence again. Now remembering, was Stanley found the collectibles?
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Aha, collecting more. Yes.
And here was the second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that,
Extreme
Stanley. I'll be
bathrooms.
honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
I think it was in the boss's office. Or technically just past it, right?
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's
Here.
office. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
That doesn't seem accurate.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but
This
it's
is new.
here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Just a big apple? I want to eat that apple.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
It's like a training video from like the late 2000s. Oh my god. I love it. Best boy narrator. I saw that.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video,
Oh
but
wait,
it
could I
was
have gone
8
down
minutes I
here
wouldn't have spent on anything else.
in real life? In the real game? Or a cargo lift? I'll have to hopefully remember and come back to that.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
You are in the present.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to
Ooh,
do but
TV.
move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone. No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Okay, I guess we can do that.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more.
Keep feeding
And
his
here's where I made that video.
dopamine.
Don't you remember the video we watched?
No. Okay, good. They fast forwarded.
Yes, I love that video.
Oh. Game like stuttered for a moment.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one. This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figlarines. Oh,
So
I
many
want
people.
more memories,
So much
Stanley. I want to
hubris.
keep going. What else is there? What came before this? Look, it's
Jump?
the terrible
Nah.
new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on every... Oh, yes! The two doors! Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Is that
Yes,
it?
I'm remembering something now.
Oh.
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me.
Oh.
He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I
You were
would
just a
cheer him on as
figment
he
of
collected
this dude's
figurines for no
imagination.
reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh,
Well,
but he
I guess
truly was
that's
so
it for
much
us.
fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling this story so
For
very much.
good. What?
Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Does that mean we actually only get like one more run?
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
So I still gotta go through that blue room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I was going through so fast I kind of missed the part where it's like, oh, there's butterflies in his stomach, which was new.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What?
I almost
Really?
missed.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
It's okay, I just gotta check out the blue
Let me
room.
prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Blue.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
The blue door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Blue door.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
Well, now I
Broken rooms,
know.
exposed
The knowledge is
development
what you
textures.
gain.
Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires
Just
of
knowledge.
yours. What
I
would
crave
have made
knowledge.
this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
More buckets.
Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This
Ooh.
already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Third door. Please rate your
Okay,
experience.
I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How
More
did
choices.
I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
Competitive
Again,
leaderboard.
honest answers, please.
Good old Neil, Skid, Nico Nacho, Vala, Hug. Oh, that's going way too fast. Did you know that 21.3 players skip the intro sequence? Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. Stanley 427. I'm at 9,320th place. Out of 9,328 players. Woo! I'm the best at being the worst. Yay. Um, um, Hello? I just got soft locked? Oh. Yay, achievements? Let me out! Let me out! What the fuck? Oh. I think I meant to reset this. You got a little salty with me. You trapped me there forever.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
So
simply
now we'll
missed
go
a
back and
memo.
we'll actually cross the lift completely. Come here, Bucket.
The good old Bucket. Just Stanley and the Bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Yes, obey the bucket blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Say no more.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
This is our home? God, the kitchen is tiny. Hello, Bucket.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
That's okay, that just means I have a good imagination.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen
Maybe.
to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It
It's more
can't
than just a
talk.
bucket.
All it will ever
It's my
truly
best
do
friend.
for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Doesn't even have to be liquid. Don't listen to the loud man.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This
It's not
stupid
awful.
hunk of metal.
It's a wonderful bucket. Press to ignore anyone in your life except for me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Yes. 100%.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Relive the same day with me, over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Press B to go home to work to home to work to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes.
That's a little
The
far.
bucket
No, I
could
can't
tell me
lie.
what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket.
No.
Give it to me. Give me the
No,
bucket,
my bucket.
Stanley.
Mine.
I need it.
My bucket.
Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
It's my bucket. It's my bucket. Should probably actually try to go that same path but without the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Except I didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for... This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let
Yeah, 'cause
her back
you have a
into
wife in
your
this
life.
game, I guess.
She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your...
I should let him finish. Whoops.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go.
So we have the
All
same
right, now, I
apartment
want you
number?
to come in and tell me all about your
Gotcha. Oh, come
Wow, that's
on.
rude.
Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm
Wow.
trying to make a point here, Stanley.
He's
I'm
so
trying to get you to
mean.
see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
He's gonna kill me again.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Sir, I play video games to escape real-life problems.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Is there a game with a baby?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. Not gonna push the button. I'll even just go on my phone for a minute. Yeah, just not pushing the buttons. Not at all. Oh gee, nothing is happening. I guess I had to push a button after all to prove the point and progress the story. Can't say I didn't try.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And
What?
Stanley pushed a button. And I
Please
tried
die.
again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Hello? This game is a wee bit morbid.
All of his co-workers were...
That's
Wait,
new.
no. This isn't the right office,
The
is
end
it?
is never the end.
Is this Stanley's office?
The end is never the end. It's never the end. I got Solitaire back there.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
It was okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I'm not done exploring. I want to see if I can go down the shaft
Stanley
thing.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yeah, this thing.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path
Ooh,
that it
tapes.
seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
Narrator sound system.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What
For
a
a
silly
moment I
and
did.
trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think
Oh,
is
lost cat, and there's a
revelatory. I
reward.
bet each
His
and
name is
every
Gene.
time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Have we done almost everything except for like what he actually wanted us to do in the first place?
Stanley had never seen the office
That's
this
pretty
brightly
fun.
lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Let me see something.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled.
Can I use the bucket to
Anywhere
break the
they
window?
went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Like, I swear you can go through one of these windows. It's like burned into my memory. You can like break a window and escape. Or go through somehow. Just don't remember which one.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Reboot the game
Still no one was
entirely.
here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
I should have went left. Should have went left and gone down the elevator. Sorry, bucket. Just for
Oh, Stanley,
curiosity.
can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you?
You can
the
have it
aura of
once.
jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed
Can
to
you
go
even
with the
get
other
it?
cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be.
given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket?
I'll let you borrow the bucket
Stanley,
just this once.
I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared
broom
together.
closet.
Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed
bucket
and
friends.
evolved over the years.
That's all that matters.
Let him have it.
Yeah, well, I tried.
Okay, I'm coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the
But we haven't
boss's
gone
office.
down here with the bucket. Bucket storyline is peak, yes. That's what the sequel is really all about. It's just about the bucket.
But
Yeah,
Stanley
we haven't been
do it.
down here with the
He
bucket.
considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the
Did I
bucket.
come down here with the bucket?
The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. Now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Oh my god, we're floating.
He exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad.
Yay,
Where
we
is
can
it?
float.
I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Bucket.
Stanley!
Bucket.
Stanley, it's me!
I'm coming, bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley!
Which one? Which one?
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was
These
the
aren't my
only way to
buckets.
truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him. No. It was incredibly painful.
No.
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
No. That's not true. The bucket's real. The bucket's real,
This
damn
is
it.
a story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh god dang it, we died again.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket.
Oh, she gets a bucket.
Walked to her place of work.
It's the same thing, but she gets a bucket.
Her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled
What if
through
that's
town,
our bucket?
talking and
What if
screaming
she
to
stole
himself,
it?
and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
She
Right
stole our
away,
bucket.
She knew what the problem
That's
was.
my bucket.
This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and
remember to carry
your and it's all just a
your
video
bucket
game. It could
today.
all have been prevented if only he'd taken his
You need your bucket of security.
Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work. for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Dang, backflipped all the way to work with while holding a bucket. It's actually impressive. Well, alrighty then.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it... No, never mind. The
And now we
bucket
go
was wrong.
left.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Nah, we go now.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here.
I was
I
glad.
knew you'd find this place eventually.
Huh? Why is there a giant baby? Oh boy, I don't like this.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere.
My bucket.
The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel
It's my bucket.
content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters
Stop
from
staring
the
at me.
first game, like the Adventure Line and
my
the
bucket.
Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it.
Nuh-uh.
Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line?
No.
We could
Adventure
make the
Line suck.
Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes,
No.
that's what the fans
Stupid.
want. Let's do it.
No. Also, the broom closet's not my friend. Seriously, just... Why? The baby.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
No, no. Not the silly music. The Adventure Line sucks.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
I am not.
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No. I'm not giving up the bucket. I refuse.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
No.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character.
No.
This is the Bucket
No.
Destroyer.
Let me out. Let me out.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable.
No.
True, it also was not in the original
Don't
game,
look
but
Bucket,
it's
it's
such a
gonna be okay.
well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley.
No.
Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine.
I
when
don't
you're ready.
wanna. I don't wanna. Let me
Now
out.
listen to me.
Let me
It's
out.
crucial that you give it the bucket.
Let me
I
out.
don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket.
It can destroy
Destroying
itself.
buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only
You
one
said yourself
personality
earlier that
trait
everything
deserve to join the
except for me and you
pantheon
was a
of beloved
bucket.
Stanley Parable characters?
I'll give it
Well, you
this.
see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about?
No,
The
my
Broom
bucket.
Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
No. Mine.
Okay, the bucket destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry
No,
and
it's okay.
feed it.
It's
We
okay.
can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket.
I won't let them hurt
Quickly
you,
now.
Bucket.
The fans
I
are
won't
waiting.
let
Do
them
it,
hurt
the
you.
fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want.
Is it moving
Hurry
closer?
and
Okay.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation.
I don't feel
You
pity
had
for
so
it.
much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
I don't feel pity. It's my bucket. Although, unfortunately, I do have to do that. Because that would be a different storyline.
Ah, the embrace of an old friend. Oh, Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley.
Yeah, let's just get
We've
this
come
over with.
together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, that... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
It's okay, this is just a dream.
That's why I'm very proud to
This isn't
introduce a
real.
brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore
okay,
of the
Bucket.
Stanley
This isn't real.
Parable.
It's a
True,
dream.
it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say
Aw.
goodbye to the bucket.
He
and
actually
then pop it
can.
into the machine when you're ready.
He actually can't do it.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if
Okay.
it can't
You know
destroy
what? I
your
like that.
bucket.
That's fine. So you cannot destroy the bucket. Good. Good.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker.
Better
In time,
man.
perhaps, he would become both of those things. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
I'm
This
gonna go
was
left,
not
but
the
go like
correct way
all
to
the way
the meeting
left.
room. But Stanley had
I haven't
felt
done
the
that at
bucket
all.
calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Okay, it just
Still
takes me right
no one
back
was
here.
here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
So
Coming to a
I feel like
staircase,
we've done
Stanley
just
and the
about
bucket
everything.
walked upstairs to the boss's
Except for
office.
whatever that window thing that I keep thinking about. Belouse the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the bosses suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Uh-huh. Oh. We haven't been in here. Why is there the portrait of a panda with a gun to its head? Called Business A Strategy. I don't think I would like this boss. Okay, I guess we go down. Oh yes, elevator jazz. Love it. Play some of this ends at some point. Nothing? What if we go up? Got a feeling this isn't going to take me anywhere. Cool. It's an elevator simulator. Neat. What's that say? I am the most expensive boss. Gross.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours,
Anything
did the
hidden?
bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark
Anything
clouds
at
of
all.
confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply
But what
being
if I
near
just
the
want to play
bucket
the piano?
did he have any notion that the pin number for the keypad was 2845.
Cannot play the piano.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I'm trying to think if there's any other pass we didn't do. I guess I didn't take the escape route without the bucket. Because that took me to like the bucket museum and I got crushed to death. Because this takes me to the...
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Okay, well, let's reset. Don't take the bucket, go through the escape, and I think that's the last one I can really think of. Hello? Suddenly papers everywhere?
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Sorry, bucket, you gotta stay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
You're fine.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent
No, it's
death.
okay. I don't have a bucket this time.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Wee. Am I still gonna get crushed?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world
I might have
is.
made a mistake here.
Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Okay, bye.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Brutal. Except it didn't happen. Haha.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I don't know, man.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Hey, my computer. We can, I guess there's one way to get to the solitaire one. No, I want to play solitaire. Why do you hate me? Fine, turn them all off. Whatever. Button sounds. Here's all the credits. Well, thank you to everyone that made this game. Developed by Crows. No, Kavan. Is it Kevin or Kavan? Sorry. I feel like it might be Kavan, just the way it's spelled. But Mr. Brighting as the narrator. Excellent job. Excellent. I guess I unintentionally went to the credit sections. I thought I saw one, like the one before that, that said something not nice. Those ending levers. Hmm.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Yep, guess we head off.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
Turn off your Nintendo Switch. There's no other way to beat this game.
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose.
Did we do it or did we get crushed? Yeah.
Don't let time.
Can't tell me what to do. Oh, alright, well, really don't know what much more there is to do. And I'm pretty much out of time anyway. But thank you buddies for watching. Thank you for helping reach the 70 follower goal. This game was voted for by my followers over, my Twitch followers over in our Discord server. as a thanks for reaching 70 followers. So if you want to vote for the game for 80 followers or getting hitting the sub goal or the bitten goal, just follow me on Twitch, join the Discord, and then you'll get a chance to vote. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you had a nice day. I'll see you in the next stream, clip, VOD, whatever have you. Take care and bye-bye.